Hi, my name is Peter Dove, author of Master Dressage and co-author of Master Dressage The Basics. The first lesson in this series of 10 live lessons is going to be about alignment and position. And the very first thing we're going to touch upon is stirrup length and how to set the correct stirrup length. There are lots of different ways that people say you should measure the right length of the stirrup. I've been told before to have the stirrups slightly above my ankle, so I would stretch my leg down and shorten the stirrup until it was just above my ankle, and that would be the right length. I've been told that you take the stirrup and put it underneath your arm and have the stirrup iron underneath the armpit. Those are two that I know of, and I find the first method makes my leg too long and the second method makes my leg too short. So in actual fact, the best way really is to measure the angle of the thigh, the angle that the thigh makes. And at least for the more novice riders, the thigh should be at 45 degrees. There is a lot of folklore about, making your leg as long as possible, and all that ends up happening actually is you have riders that end up reaching into their stirrups with their heels up and really very little control of their leg. So if we have a look at Millie's leg here, you can see we've made it too long. So the thigh is really at quite a sort of steep angle here, and when I get this back into the video editing suite, I might actually measure that angle as well, so when it comes to doing the live lesson we can say what angle that is. So this is too long, and what can end up happening is the rider can end up reaching into the stirrup, and often that causes a bit of a hollow in the rider's back as well. So as you straighten out your leg, this kind of thing tends to happen. So it's really important to get the right stirrup length. So we're going to shorten the stirrup now to what I would consider to be too short for dressage. Okay, so I mean I never see stirrups this short, so it's quite interesting. With the stirrups this short, don't press into your foot. So the thigh ends up being too horizontal, the knee starts coming over the front of the saddle, and what this will make difficult is it will make the rising trot difficult. You're trying to rise over a very kind of straight thigh. It will end up pushing the seat towards the back of the saddle too much. And especially if you've got a hollow horse, you'll actually find yourself landing straight into the hollow of the horse's back, and you'll find it very difficult to use the thigh as a lever to keep you out of the hollow. So we're going to again redo Millie's stirrups. Okay, so this is more correct, and this is just a little bit of a practice. We're going to go and measure the angles on the computer, but this is a much more correct thigh angle. Millie rides a little bit longer than this because she's very stable in her lower leg, and she's has a much more stable position, so she can go that little bit longer. But this is the kind of angle that we're looking for. So during the live lesson we'll talk a lot more about stirrup length, correct leg positioning. We'll talk about how to achieve neutral spine and what that is, how to correct the typical problems that riders come across with their position, what to do if your leg's too far back, too far forwards, what to do if you have a hollow back or a round back, and we'll demonstrate those positions as well. So thank you all of you that have signed up. We've had a huge response to these 10 live lessons and a lot of interest. So there should be a link to go with this post. Just click on that link and there'll be more information there. And also, if you join before the first lesson on the 24th, you'll get the entire set of 10 lessons for only £60, which is only £6 per lesson. You'll be able to replay them as much as you like. And at the end of the 10 series, having bought in right at the beginning, you'll be given the choice to receive all of the lessons on a DVD set for only £10. So that will literally just cover the cost of postage and packing for us. So I really hope to see you on the first lecture on the 24th. That's going to be at 1 p.m. As the days get longer throughout the year, you'll see the lesson time get later and later, which will be a benefit to those of you in the US. And obviously there'll be a lot more light as well. It's going to be interesting doing this lecture on the 24th. It's currently about 1 degree C at the moment, and it was even colder earlier. Yeah, Millie was saying it was -1 at one point, and it's still frosty outside. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we're not all stood here freezing to death, and Millie's toes don't drop off. Thanks very much, and we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.